Yeah, the overall reaction is extremely positive because we think that it's a very good job, and the epidemiologists actually made it clear that it's a very important that we actually know who's got this, and particularly in a long-term care facility. So we are very supportive of testing the workers, the staff, the administrator, everybody in the facility who has contact with the folks in the nursing home should be tested on a regular basis. We agree. Well, it is a huge number, and with it comes a huge cost. So I guess the best way to say that we agree and think it should be done is if we could slow the process down and make sure that we had all the pieces of the puzzle in place so that we could actually do this in an orderly manner. The idea of testing is good. The way in which it has to be ramped up is probably somewhat complicated. So 205,000 workers times 2 tests a week would be approximately 410,000 tests. So that number, when you're given the fact that the state of New York, since the pandemic has started, has tested somewhat in the vicinity of 1.5 million, these numbers would catch up to that in a very short period of time if we went on this 2 tests a week schedule, which I believe we should do. Each test is $100 a test. So if you take those numbers of 205,000 times $100 times 52 weeks, if it was to be projected for the year, and we don't know yet whether this would be a year. We don't know what the timing is, but we have to think ahead as to what we might have to do. That number comes somewhat over $2 billion. We don't think the facilities or the workers should pay for it. I think because it's a pandemic and because our government, both the state and the federal government, have said that this is a good idea, and we agree that the federal government should pay for this. It should be part of the monies that come out of the federal government for testing all over the country. They should first focus on where the testing is most needed, which we agree, is in the long-term care facilities. I think the tests themselves take time, you're right, but whether it's prohibitive, probably not. It would be, if it was done properly, there would be some disruption, but it wouldn't be too serious. But if it's done a little, too quickly and it's ramped up before all the systems are in place, then that could be disruptive because the free tests are being offered in drive-throughs and in places that are not on site. So that would, of course, mean that the workers would have to stop somewhere and take a test before they get to work. So depending on how this is done, it could be disruptive or it could be much less disruptive.